Welcome back to Motive, ladies and gentlemen. We are here tonight for the penultimate round of Season 15 here on Project Cars 2. We're here for the Touring Car Championship, as usual, on the Thursday night here on the PlayStation platform. And we are at the Silverstone Classic Circuit here tonight. Obviously a track which doesn't actually exist in real life anymore, but in the 50s and 60s it was one of the most prevalent racetracks in world motorsport, and also was the host of the first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix. Obviously nowadays it's evolved into what we all know as the modern day Silverstone circuit, and there's a lot of similarities. Can't deny there's a lot of corners which still exist to this day, albeit in slightly varying forms, but very recognisable parts of this circuit which you will be able to see over the course of tonight. I want to say a big welcome to everybody joining us live on the stream here tonight. I'm just about to officially go live, so I don't know why I'm saying that, because actually nobody's watching or listening at the moment because the stream isn't public. But obviously if you're watching this back afterwards, I feel some sort of sense of obligation to be filling it up with some sort of dialogue. Obviously here tonight for this penultimate round. The championship's still on the line. Realistically, I think it's between two drivers at this point. It's most likely going to be John Boy or Jay, and it's looking increasingly likely that it is going to be John Boy this season, because he is currently leading the championship by a fair old way. But Jay's not going to give up, we can be sure of that, and he's going to be pushing him all the way into the end. These two obviously both former champions of this division here. The most recent champion, I think, was Mike. I think it was the last winner of the Touring Car Championship. Obviously that was before we had the big summer break where we didn't do any racing, and obviously this is one of the longest seasons we've ever done, so it's a long time ago now. But I think season 14 was Mike. I know season 13 was John Boy. But yeah, both of these two looking to try and regain their title. Mike obviously wasn't in the championship reckoning this time around because he wasn't a permanent driver this season. He had to miss a couple of rounds due to an internship and just bits and bobs, which meant he couldn't race. But it's great to see him back here tonight. And fingers crossed we see him put on a good performance here. But should hopefully be a good night of racing. As I'm just kind of waffling at the moment, I'm just sorting out the stream titles. So, and obviously if anything's going out on the track, then I'm going to be currently oblivious to it because I'm not actually watching the screen at the moment. I've got my HDMI cable plugged into my laptop. So at the moment I'm just sorting out the thumbnail on the stream and all that stuff. But once that's done, I'll be officially underway and actually talking about what's going on in front of us. And here we go. We are now officially live. I'm just going to post that link in the Discord so people can check it out. And obviously some of the guys who and girls who tune in live can check out what's going on as it's going on. Also, you're going to bear with me tonight, guys, because unfortunately I'm feeling a little bit shattered, if I'm honest with you. Started work at 5 AM this morning and ended up with a little break in between. Ended up staying there until gone 7. So absolutely exhausted right now. But nonetheless, hanging in there, and it should be alright. Shouldn't be too many dramas. But yeah, I'm an absolute wreck at the moment, I'm telling you that. But I think we're underway. I'm just going to check on my phone and make sure, but I think we're all good on the stream. So here we are then, guys, coming towards the end of the practice session here. We might even actually be at the end of the practice now, potentially. So here we are then. Or we're pretty much there. But yeah, HDMI cable's going into the PS5, and there we go. I can see the screen now. As we're currently watching Dirt Rally, who raced actually last week as a sporadic reserve, and gave a very good account of himself at Oulton Park. and he'll be looking to try and build on that very impressive performance last week. But Cobb setting the fastest time in a practice session. He's been very quick in the online practice lobbies that we've had before this as well. And he's got an outside shot at this title, and I will hasten to add it is a very outside shot. He's a long way behind in the championship, but if John Boy and Jay have the most catastrophic of evenings here tonight, then that might hand Cobb a bit of a lifeline going into the final round of the season. But as I said before, it's John Boy who comes into this with the championship lead, and it's quite a decisive lead at that as well. It's nearly 40 points, I think it is. So yeah, John Boy leads the championship. His after drop rounds, he leads on 828 points. That's 36 ahead of Jay, who's second on 792. And then you've got Cobb in third. Cobb's actually not too far behind Jay, to be fair to him. Only 18 points behind Jay, but obviously 56 points behind John Boy, the championship leader. Sorry, 54 points behind the championship leader, John Boy. So actually not as far behind as I thought he was, is Cobb. 774 points he sits on. He's well clear of Craig, who's pretty much out of the championship now. He's in fourth on 678 points, and he's well clear of Park Pooper, who's fifth on 622. Then you've got Aussie, who's in sixth in the standings on 600 points exactly, followed by Mike, who's in seventh on 588 points. And then you've got Team MW, who's in eighth in the standings, and he is on 584 points. So that is the top 8 in the standings, and the rest of them, I have got their positions, but the points I'm not 100% sure on. But Thoresteer is 9th in the standings at the moment, and then he's ahead of Pot the Brown, who is in 10th, and you've got Big Blue, who sits 11th in the championship. Hasn't been here every round, Big Blue, so unfortunately hasn't been able to amass the points that I think his performances this season have merited, because he's had some really good showings as Big Blue, but just hasn't been able to string together enough consistency for one, but also appearances in general. Nick Levitta's in 13th, ahead of Thomas, who's in 14th, Mutt's 15th, and Diabetic Lamb 16th. We're getting to the drivers now who have bailed out of the championship midway through. Revolt Detailer 17th. Ollie Marr is in 18th, having put in a few reserve appearances towards the tail end of the season. Be interesting to see if he can get himself up this order in the last couple of rounds. Matt Darves obviously made an appearance or two, but then has disappeared. He's 19th. Smoky Devil 20th, with Dirt Rally now 21st, having appeared last week as well. Followed by Grandad Steve, who made one appearance mid-season. He's 22nd. LFRD made an appearance, didn't score a point in his appearance. I think it was at Brands Hatch earlier in the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. But yeah, that is the 23 drivers who have competed in this Touring Car Championship. Currently 13 of them out on track here tonight, but goes to show there's been a lot of people taking part in this championship, but not everybody is fully committed to it. Obviously, some people have made sporadic appearances here and there. Others have been here week in, week out, and are the ones who are battling it out for this championship. But Cobb currently setting the pace here tonight at Silverstone Classic. And Silverstone Classic has actually been the finale a few times here for the Touring Car Championship. This season it's the penultimate round, but it's many times been the championship decider even. Most notably, the season before last, we had 5 drivers going to that final round of the season with a chance in the championship. It was insane to see so many people in that fight. But John Boy was the one who took the championship on that particular night in that season. And we saw Cobb obviously had a chance of taking the championship. I remember Cobb won that first race of the night, and then second race he disconnected. And I think he was looking like the favourite that night. And I tell you that because he had the pace over everybody that night, and was leading that race and had it under control. But I was absolutely gutted when I saw that. And since then, he still hasn't actually won a championship at the top level here at Motive Racing. He is a champion here at Motive. He won Tier 2 back at the height of COVID, when we had 2 tiers for the GT3s on Project Cars 2. He actually won the Tier 2. That was back when we had a lot of people racing, because obviously everyone was at home back then. We had so many people driving in our leagues. It was on a Saturday afternoon. We had the GT3, and Cobb actually took the championship in the second tier, got promoted to the Tier 1. And got a few wins in Tier 1 actually that season after, but obviously hasn't won a championship at the top level here at Motive. So he'd really love to do that, but I'd say he's got his work cut out if he's going to do it this season, that's for sure. But nonetheless, setting the pace here tonight in this opening practice session. John Boy coming out of Woodcote. Can he improve on P2? No, he stays in second place. Jay's coming down the hanger straight, and he's currently fourth, nearly half a second up on his personal best. He's right behind Cobb, actually, so these two currently playing a bit of a slipstream game here. Is Cobb going to give Jay the toe? Obviously, this isn't for any positions because the grid order is based on the reverse grid from the championship standings, so it's not going to mean anything which one of them goes faster, but I'm sure for pride's sake it's going to be a bit of a boost for Jay if he can dethrone Cobb at the top of the leaderboard. But he goes wide there coming out of club corner, and that will have just cost him a little bit of time there as he now comes through this flat out corner, which is Abbey, as Mike goes into third place here. And tonight, actually, interestingly, Mike is racing in the Astra tonight, which is obviously what he's planning on racing next season. We've heard rumours, so whether or not he's going to be able to use that practice to his advantage here, as Jay goes into second place there on his final run of the session. So that's a good lap there from Jay, and only two drivers getting into the 129s, Cobb and Jay, the only ones. John Boy not too far away, but that'll be a bit of boost for Jay there, getting close to his rival there, Cobb. And yeah, those two second and third in the championship, and they're currently going a little bit quicker than the championship leader John Boy in that session. But it's Cobb, Jay, John Boy and Mike, your fastest four here for this first race of the night for the penultimate round of the season. 13 drivers here tonight out on track. Good to see that we've got a solid turnout here tonight here on Project Cars 2, and we will still be staying on Project Cars 2 next season. We will have the touring cars returning on a Thursday night, as always, as has been the staple now for well over a year now. But it's looking like that might be the only league we're running on Project Cars 2 next season, because we have been sort of slowly phasing it down a bit. I remember we had 3 leagues on Project Cars 2. This time about a year ago we had the touring cars, the Clios and the GT3s, but now we're thinking of moving on to Gran Turismo 7. So the plan is to run a Gran Turismo 7 league on Tuesday nights instead of what used to be the Clios but is now the GT4s. We're going to be on Gran Turismo 7 running the Group 3 cars, which is basically GT3, but it's also not just GT3, it's similar classes, so GT500 and various GT Endurance. We'll obviously have to have a PP limit because the GTEs will have a bit of an advantage, and potentially the GT500s also. So obviously we'll have a PP limit in place to kind of negate that advantage. We'll have to find out what the sweet spot is to keep everybody on the same page. But it should be interesting, actually. It should be an exciting championship, and obviously a bit more of a casual game, not quite the serious sim that Project Cars 2 is, but certainly going to be a competitive championship. I'm really looking forward to commentating on a new game. It should be a good opportunity for me and for the drivers out on track to show their skills at a different game. And yeah, I can't wait to get on there over the Christmas period. We're going to be running a few online lobbies and stuff to maybe get things up to speed and get a few new faces in the community potentially. But nonetheless, guys, we are getting ready to go for this formation lap here tonight for this penultimate round of the Touring Car Championship here in Motive Season 15 here on Project Cars 2. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this championship is going to develop. Is it going to be John Boy taking one step closer to what feels like it's his championship to lose? Or are we going to be seeing Jay staging a bit of a rally? Is Cobb going to come flying out from the shadows here? We've got Junior racing. Hey! Good old JR there. Junior. Hello, mate. Hope you and Nana are well and looking forward to Christmas. Is there a game sound? Smash the like. Have you seen the news with PS5 and Xbox able to race each other? Yeah, I've seen that on ACC. So I'll be, for our league, obviously, that'll be now, rather than the PS5 league, that'll be the console league. Yeah, that sounds brilliant. I mean, it's been about time because obviously the technology's been there for a while. But yeah, it's good that they've got that sorted out. Game sound. Let me just adjust the party balance. That might help us out a bit. You might be able to hear the cars a little bit more. Appreciate the heads up there. Let's move it a little bit towards the middle. That should be a bit more balanced now, Junior. Let me know. But yeah. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I don't actually live by that anymore, but I see her at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. But it was her birthday yesterday. I went to see her yesterday, but I got my own place now, so I'm on my ones at the moment. But yeah, still see her a lot. Obviously, I'll mention she always remembers you as well. She always She always, because you always used to say hi to her when we were on the game chat, so she always knows. She knows who you are. I'll mention that you said hello. Yeah, it's no game sound, but I don't mind hearing. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean it's about time that I have my own place. To be honest, I've kind of been living off of them for a little while, so good to have my own sort of pad, and don't have to listen to them, because the most annoying thing is having obviously, because my grandparents, they'd have the TV on so loud, and I could never sleep at night, having the early shift the next day and having to be up at 4 in the morning and the TV's blaring at full volume until 2 a.m. So nice to be able to have a space where I can sort of switch off and yeah, just sort of have my own sort of life. But nonetheless, here we are then, guys. We're getting ready to go for this first race of the night. It looks like we're underway as Dirt Rally puts his foot to the floor. Our reserve for tonight, getting us going. And Ollie there coming under pressure from Big Blue, already coming down towards Cop's corner. Is Big Blue going to make a move here? Up the inside, he's going to have a look, but he's too far back at the moment as we see them all filing through Cops for the first time in this race. It looks like there's no position changes at the moment. Everybody's kind of holding it firm at the moment. No major dramas either. That's good to see. But Big Blue has dropped off of Ollie a little bit, coming through towards Maggots and Beckett. So you've got Potter Brown with Doris Steer looking to his inside, and we're 3 wide here as Mike's going to make this one a little bit tricky here as we see Potter Brown even going a little bit wide there, and that he's now lost out to both Mike and also to Thoristeer as well. Thoristeer moving up into P5, and look at that, you've got Potter Brown here who's lost out to Aussie Albie as well, so Aussie up into 7th place. Lots of drivers making their way through here. Potter Brown losing a load of places here at the start of this race. Dirt Rally leading, coming into Stowe corner with Ollie ahead of Big Blue. There's Mike who's got TMW down his inside there into Stowe corner, but Mike's going to try and hold it around the outside, goes a little bit wide there, coming out of Stowe down towards Club we go. And look at this, look at these cars, they're absolutely packed into a short space right now as Doris here has squeezed up the inside there of all of them, and TMW there side by side with Aussie Albie trying to keep himself there. Aussie managing to squeeze around the outside there of that was Mike there squeezing ahead of TMW, sorry, up into 5th place. So Mike now attacking on the back of Doris here as they come down towards the final chicane here. This is obviously Woodcote, or what is now Woodcote, but back then it was a chicane. Ollie still attacking on the back of Big Blue at the moment. Doris here, TMW ahead of Mike with Aussie Albie. Park Pooper there running a bit wide onto the runoff a little bit. That would have compromised this run coming out onto the start finish straight. But here they come into Cop's corner once again for the second time here at racing speeds. And there you can see you've got Mike all over the back of BMW right now. And we've got Park Pooper looking up the inside of Aussie into turn 1. Can he complete that move there as they're side by side on the exit of the corner? Aussie's going to be hard pushed here to stay ahead as we got these two are side by side. Park Pooper's going to have the inside here for Maggots. Is he going to be able to complete that move though? Ollie's going to try and hold it around the outside in the foreground there. You've got somebody very wide. That's Ollie there who ran wide. Oh, and Ollie's lost it there coming out of that corner as Park Pooper can't make the move on Aussie for the time being. Aussie's staying just ahead. Oh, it's going to be close there. They both have to take evasive action as Ollie, the slower car there, completely out of sync with them coming down the Hanger Straight. And Ollie's going to lose out here to Aussie Albie now. And in the background you can see that Cobb is attacking to the inside on Park Pooper. But look around the outside. You've got Craig there swooping around them into Stowe corner. And Craig has pulled off an absolute worldie there, but he's got nowhere to go. Oh, Craig there goes into the barriers because Ollie there was out of shape there in front of him. And what has happened there to Craig? He's down to 12th place. Oh no, there's an incident in the foreground. Oh, Cobb spun out. Cobb is off onto the runoff there coming through Stowe, and he's going to be down to the back of the pack there. 13th place at the moment for Cobb. Aussies and Park are also caught up in that one as they're down to 11th and 12th places. Jay, I think, might have got caught up in that a little bit as well because he's lost time to the leaders here. Absolute chaos here on the second racing lap as Dirt Rally out the front has got a 3-second lead over Big Blue. So Big Blue's got another driver now who's who can start at the front and pull away. But John Boy on the back of Ollie now. Ollie's had a difficult start to this race. He's been a little bit shaky here in these opening couple of laps, to say the least. But he's currently, they can see there, John Boy making a move on Ollie up into P6 as they come out of Cop's corner. So that's job done there for John Boy. Now he can try and focus on what's up ahead. Although Ollie there getting a nice run here, and the BMW with the straight line speed as well. And he's up the inside into Maggots, and Ollie's going to try and come back at John Boy here. In the foreground, there's also a battle going on between Doris, Big Blue, Team MW and Mike. But John Boy does get that move done coming out through Chapel Curve and onto the Hanger Straight. But we've got to go back to this battle here between Big Blue Doris, Team MW and Mike, because they're currently 4 cars in a line here as they come down the Hanger Straight on board with Mike, as he's got a bit of a run, but he's got nowhere to go and very sensibly backs out of that one. But you've got Doris here on the inside there with Big Blue down the middle backing out of that one, and Team MW they're losing out. And Mike and Team MW coming together there on the exit of Stowe Corner, and there goes Team MW looking to the inside. Sorry, there goes Big Blue looking to the inside of Mike, and Team MW's off. Team MW's into the barriers there, so he's had a huge shunt there into the wall. He obviously had the contact with Mike as they came through Stowe Corner, and look at that. Oh, Doris there ever so wide going out of Club Corner, and that's going to allow Mike up into third place. Big Blue still running in second place at the moment, but he's got Mike on the back of him here as they come through into the final sector of this lap. But Big Blue there second place. You can see that Mike and Doris there right behind him at the moment. John Boy closing in, as well as Ollie with Jay and Potter Brown. And there's Craig also making gains on these guys. But Dirt Rally out the front has got a 5-second gap over everybody else. And there's currently the battle there for second place, as you got Mike still trying to impose himself on Big Blue if he possibly can. But dramatic first few laps to this race, as you've got Potter Brown there trying to move up at the inside of Ollie up into Copse Corner, and he gets that one done there. Does Potter Brown up into 7th place. Nicely done there from him. Aussie there has lost a few places here, down to 13th place, so he's had a bit of a mare there on that lap as well. So that's not what he would have been hoping for, I'm sure about that. But Dirt Rally Pro nonetheless is leading the race, and he's continuing to pull out the gap here, showing he's got the pace here in these touring cars. Obviously he's got world records on this game. We all know what he brings to the table. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between Doris and Mike, as Mike getting pushed onto the grass, but holding his ground there. And we're riding on board with John Boy, who's closing in on all of these guys coming into the coming towards Stowe Corner. Mike backs out of it. John Boy throwing that one to the inside there of Mike. Mike not phased, not even paying attention to John Boy. He's more focused on making the move on the guys ahead of him, but he's tucking in behind Big Blue and Doris for the time being, as Jay's moved ahead of Ollie up into 6th place. And in fact, Jay is actually closing up onto the back of this pack here. Ollie currently labouring around a little bit there, just in front of Potter Brown and Craig. But Ollie struggling here in this race on those in the BMW. Maybe the tyre's not really up to temperature. Obviously, the in-game race date is middle of September, so it's kind of getting towards the autumn. Maybe the BMW just struggling to get its tyres up to temperature here. When I was saying that, we're fair way into the race, so I thought by now he'd have got it in the right zone, but maybe he's just struggling a little bit here. Dirt Rally in the meantime has still got a lead of 6 seconds. He's continued to put out the gap here over the rest of them. Big Blue, Doris Steer, John Boy and Mike there, with Jay not far behind at all now. I'll tell you what, Jay is now part of this train. He is now in that fight for what is going to be P2 here in this race. It's going to be a big battle for P2, and it is for best of the rest, because they are absolutely nowhere near the race leader Dirt Rally, who is completely checked out the front, and it's been a superb display from this man, Dirt Rally, who's racing as a reserve. He has not part of this championship, but has jumped in the last couple of weeks, and he's made more than a good account of himself over these last couple of weeks as well. Lorna says hello and congrats on the new place. We're watching on the big TV. Oh, hello Lorna, and yeah, hello to all the JR household, or junior household, sorry, should be referring to it as now. But we've got Big Blue here. He's got Doris sticking to his outside into Stowe Corner, and is he going to be able to make this one happen here? He's going to try and go around the outside of Doris. Sorry, Big Blue. Doris is going to try and go around the outside of Big Blue, but John Boy here is going to get a good exit there out of Stowe Corner, and Doris didn't get a great exit at all. John Boy here to the inside of Doris Steer into Club Corner. Doris Steer trying to hold it around the outside. John Boy's there though. It's going to be tight between these two. And Doris Steer manages to hold the inside for the next corner, going through Abbey. And John Boy nowhere to go. Oh, and there's contact. There's massive contact there. John Boy and Jay are in the wall, and they've both got damage. Oh, this could be huge, but Cobb not in a position to capitalise. So this is crazy. We've got the 3 championship contenders all running into problems here in this race. John Boy down to 9th, Jay down to 10th. Where's Cobb? Cobb's coming up on the scene. This is insane. John Boy, Jay and Cobb, the 3 championship contenders here, have all come in. Oh no, John Team MW goes into the side of Cobb and John Boy. Oh my goodness me. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, you can't even say that anybody's benefited from this, because it is the 3 guys who can win this championship who are currently trying to kill each other right now. And you've got Jay running in P9, Cobb P10 and John Boy P11. This is unprecedented. I've never seen anything quite like this. But Dirt Rally out the front has got a 8-second lead of a Big Blue right now. Doris Steer and Mike still in hot pursuit here in this battle for what is currently second place in this race, as they come into Stowe once again. Bit of a lock up there from Doris as he cuts the inside of Stowe there. as we ride on, or we jump on board here with Mike as he's trying to make this move here on Doris steering, get himself onto the podium if he possibly can. Oh, Big Blue getting out of shape there, going on the exit of Club, and now that's going to give Doris the position, and now Mike's going to try and follow him through as well as they come through Abby, and Mike swoops around the outside of Big Blue up into the podium place. Oh, he's wide there onto the grass. Bit of lawn mowing there from Mike. Very out of shape there, but he squeezes through up into third place nonetheless. And now he can try and focus on Doris Steer, who's right ahead of him here as they come through Woodcote and over the line to start lap 8 of this race. What a race this is, though. And we've seen the 3 main championship protagonists here all run into problems, running in 9th, 10th and 11th places. John Boy there running a bit wide. Sorry, it was Cobb running a bit wide, actually. John Boy still on the back of him. That is actually the livery that John Boy won the championship with, I believe. Or is it? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. I'm not sure. I'm starting to question myself already on that one. But nonetheless, Mike's still on the back of Doris Steer as they come out of Chapel Curve onto the Hanger Straight once again. But can Mike have a crack at Doris and get himself into P2 here in the final few laps of this race? Big Blue there running just behind them. He's still in his battle for the podium places. You can be sure of that. He'll be there waiting if these two trip over each other in any way. Oh, what's John Boy doing? John Boy there taking an unconventional line there on down the Hanger Straight. And Cobb there moving through up into 9th place. That was a bit peculiar. In the meantime, we've got a battle going on here for 6th place. Currently Park Pooper here on the inside with Craig and Ollie there. Currently his wingman at the moment, but Ollie there tucks in behind Craig for the time being. Can Craig try and make a move here on Park Pooper as they come into the final sector? These guys not too far behind Potter Brown, and they're closing on him at the moment, so maybe they can bring the battle for P5 into play a little bit in the final couple of laps here of this one. But we are on the penultimate lap here at Silverstone on the classic circuit here tonight. Obviously this track does not exist anymore in real life, but it's been preserved forever on this Project Cars 2 game, and indeed on many different titles actually, not just Project Cars 2. But nonetheless, we jump on board with Mike here as they come in towards Beckett's here, as he's still trying to make this move on Doris. He goes a bit wide there, coming through into Chapel. That would have just cost him a little bit of time there as they come onto the Hanger Straight once again. So here we go into Stowe Corner once again. Dirt Rally still out the front. Has got over a 9-second lead over these guys and is continuing to pull out that gap. Doris there getting a little bit slidey there going through on the exit of Club Corner. Mike closing in, getting closer and closer and closer, but just seems a little bit too far away at the moment. I think he's not going to be able to send one into the chicane just at the minute, as he holds position for the time being. Here we go then, final lap of the race here for this evening opener. After this one, there'll be 5 races left in this touring car season with 3 races per round. On board with Big Blue, he's attacking on the back of Mike here. Mike driving in the Astra tonight. It's been a solid performance so far from him. Usually races in the McGann, has also been known to race. Well, no, actually this season he's been in the BMW most of the time. But yeah, he's raced in every car except the Merc, actually, as Mike. Although, has he raced in a Merc? He might have done a race or 2 in a Merc. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure he has, but I can't remember when or where. And I don't think he liked it much. But Big Blue nonetheless has got the run here on Mike in towards Stowe Corner. That's going to be chopped down there for Big Blue, surely. Although Mike trying to hold his line around the outside. Big Blue there cutting the inside a little bit there, not majorly though. Maybe he could argue that he was squeezed, but Big Blue there moving back through up into the podium places here. Doris trying to run away here in 2nd place. Dirt Rally in the meantime is coming into the final sector of this lap here in the first race of the night, and it has been a flawless display here from Dirt Rally. He's just got away at the start, hasn't he? He's completely romped to this one, and he's going to come around Woodcote for the final time. Dirt Rally with an impressive showing indeed as he comes over the line. It's going to be Doris Steer coming into the final chicane. He's going to bring home second place here in this one. And he's just ahead of Big Blue, who completes the podium, with Mike Over to take fourth place here in this one. It's going to be Park Pooper into the final chicane. It's going to be fifth place here for him, just ahead of Pot the Brown. So Park Pooper over in P5, ahead of Pot the Brown in P6. John Boy's going to take seventh, ahead of Cobb over in eighth. So John Boy still outscoring Cobb, and Jay losing points to his championship rival. John Boy taking another step closer to what could be his fourth touring car championship this season. He's a three-time champion already. Craig coming into the chicane here in P10. It's got Ollie and TMW battling in the background. Oh, and Craig's let them through. Has Craig run out of fuel? I think Craig might have run out of fuel. No, he hasn't. I don't know what's going on there. Ollie coming over to take P10. TMW P11. Craig P12. He wouldn't have run out of fuel because there's a minimum fuel requirement. So it wouldn't have been that anyway. But nonetheless, Aussie Albie crosses the line in P13. A lap down. A nightmare of an opening race of the night for him. But it's Dirt Rally, Doris Steer and Big Blue taking the podium places here tonight at Silverstone Classic in the first race of the night. And we'll be back shortly for the second race. We'll be going live on Discord in about 5 minutes time for that one. So yeah, to the drivers watching us back afterwards, hopefully you enjoy. We'll see you in a minute.